right now, it is kind of hot and humid in my room. And Emily insists on sticking right up against my leg and using my thigh as a pillow in all her fuzzy glory. But that's okay, because she's cute and I love her. Now, if I'm thinking correctly, this may or may not be the last bit of the trial for this one, so we might finish this today. I'm hoping. Watch it still have another investigating section, and then I don't actually finish this today. Also, sorry for shifting streams around. My sleep schedule is still dookie, as usual. Worse than usual. And coinciding with rain all this week, it just gives you a really big headache. Now let me take a look real quick. Because I think I remember the gist of everything. We have the sacred urn. In its regular setup. It's authentic too. Ron's testimony from DeMasque's second heist on he was stealing directed by blackmail. Buzzer went off once at 1 or 2 a.m. October 12th. Of course, he wasn't in the room to see it. Kane Bullard. Okay. Getting my bearings again. Because it's been a tad bit since we played. I gotta not eat spicy things before stream. Hey Nick, what is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door. Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atme's trial today. Detective Atme, is he gonna at some point raid our room? They say they're going to try him as Master Mask. Already? That was fast. We're not even finished with this trial. Boy, I'd love to see Master Mask trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Who's that person? Oh, she went back home. She says she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Am I ignoring someone? Am I ignoring what's his face? Ron Delight? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Oh yeah. Please don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone. That's not true. Come on, don't be silly. Oh, wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Well, that's not true. That's the whole premise of usually being a thief is because you're poor. Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Oh my god. Why is it that every time that I play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, I either make bad decisions or something goes wrong with my throat? No spice before streams. No spice before streams. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. You really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. How come? Let's just take our time like always. Are you moving? Meow. Oh. Are you gonna... You know there's more than one way that you can get off the bed and not through the cords. There you go. Good job. Emily has jumped down and now my leg is free. What? I'm afraid that's not an option. Wait. October 14th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. That's gonna be a delight to do. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the week. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godo. He's got the judge in the palm of his hands yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. What? Huh? What do you mean? How old is he? Oh my goodness. Mucus be strong today. Once again, full-on reminder for myself. No spicy things. To get my nose running right before stream. He's 23. What do you mean he can't go to war? I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godo. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. Are you sure your brain's not fried with the amount of caffeine that you drink on the daily that you haven't slept? That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes, well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. He probably doesn't. He's reading off of a script. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godo, please call your first witness. I never drank more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. That's a lot! Is it just straight up coffee, or do you put like creamer, milk, sugar? If it's straight up coffee, this man has coffee running in his veins. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godo, your witness? He does love his Joe. It's probably his own secret blend of coffee. Okay, then let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. You have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ha, you've got guts, trite. Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. This'll be fun! Also, hi, no face. You did it, didn't you? Yes. Excuse me! You need to pay attention, sir. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ah, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. Witness testimony, my visit to KB Security. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. That's such a short bit. At least it's less to press. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. I don't think you want to drink seawater. That's not good for your tummy. It's bitter today too, just like my destiny. Oh, so he does drink straight up black coffee. It's 17 cups. Oh my god. You never know what that you never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. There's not much. There's not much to go off of. Okay, press. Press everything. What are you doing over there? Oh, she's going to lay on her scratching cardboard box. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Hi, Grandma. Yeah, headache is non-existent today. Well, not completely non-existent, but you know what I mean. I think right now it's just sinus pressure, not necessarily a headache, but that's my fault. I had some of that Korean spicy noodles. I didn't even put the entire packet of spicy noodles, or the spicy, like, sauce packet on top. But I didn't mix it in well enough, so I kept getting pockets of the spice. God, my nose was running. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit. Does anybody really have an accurate internal clock? Yeah, I even put extra things into the noodles. And it was still pretty spicy. But that's only because I didn't mix it properly. Because I put the spice packet on top and then I did something. And then I tried to put some sesame oil on top to help with moving the noodles around, but it kind of you know how noodles kind of stick to each other a little bit? That's what happened. I didn't next time I put sesame oil, then mix it, and then put the sauce on. Use the scalpel to open up the sinuses, remove the junk, and stick it back together. I wish I could eject my sinuses, pressure wash it, and then put it back in. It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. 1 a.m. coffee date? Why not? I need to blow my nose again. This was a mistake. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there. It was the first time I got a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Ahaha! Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now what should I do? Ah! Save. I mean, it probably would be good to press harder. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, Abe. A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait. I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to do, or nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ah. A muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Do you have any milk or dairy things on hand? I have a Thai tea. It's like a Thai milk tea. And it's not that the spiciness is still there, because the spice doesn't actually last that long. It's just the aftermath of how clogged up my sinuses usually are. So when I eat something spicy, it loosens up everything. But it doesn't necessarily loosen up like the things that you really need to get out of your sinuses. It's not really spicy anymore. I'm just suffering from the aftermath of drainage. What? You need out? Well, I'm gonna let Emily out real quick. She has decided that she doesn't want to be in my presence anymore. No, I know. Hold on, I'm helping. Hold on. I absolutely love spicy food, but why do I also have to have the allergies that go along with it? Well, not allergies for spicy food, but allergies in general. And then when you eat spicy food, it just all comes out. What's that guy gotta reach for some tissues? I should take like a really, really hot shower later. That'll probably be very helpful. And I think I should probably also get some of those, like the Vicks Vapor Rub, but it comes in shower tablets. Those are for when you need the extra decongesting. Okay. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything, so we'll press this one. Yeah, they have shower versions of like the Vicks Vapor Rub shower, or they're little circular tablets that you put on the tub or the shower floor, like indirectly from the light of the shower head. And it smells great. It's awesome. They took it away for a long period of time and then it came back. And I don't know if they changed the formula or if there was something initially wrong with it. I mean, as long as you're not putting it where your feet can touch it, you're not going to get burns. Or like that burny feeling. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole DeMasque thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't. Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me, just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Miss Delight didn't believe he was DeMasque. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Press. I wish I could use the regular Vicks Vapor Rub, but my skin says no. That's why if I use Vicks in some way, shape, or form, it's either the shower tablets or the sticker patches that you can put on your shirt. Used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief, you? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? It's like he takes every small thing and it's like, that definitely constitutes murder. This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Life after being fired. Why was he fired? Don't say anything. Because if I do life after being fired, this is when he's in the DeMasque situation. Why was he fired? Which I don't think that he actually had anything to say about why he was fired. Because it'd be bad if you talked about DeMasque. Let's say don't say anything for this bit. Should just avoid this whole subject, at least for now. As the defense appears to have nothing to say, it seems that this is indeed your motive. What? Okay. What? That's not true. I don't have any hard feelings towards Mr. Bullard. Oh, I knew I should have said something. Oh, wait. Let's go. Let's load that then. What the heck? Why was he fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? I don't know. I think you're probably the biggest spender in this room besides Desi when it comes to food. Living paycheck to paycheck because we can't keep up with your food habits. My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Wow! Okay, come again. Maybe security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, and since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I never asked that. Food is delicious. As where most of my money went for, I mean, not most of it at the time when I was working at, Target. A lot of my money went to food. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. I haven't lied once. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. I mean, it's always worse before it gets better. You ate noodles too? What kind of noodles? What was on the noodles? Okay, so... You fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know that. Press. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby, what else? Well, you if anything, you can say that he really loves his wife. Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste. So, Miss Delay doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. Can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Chicken, vegetables, ooh. You had noodles last night, does that count? If you've eaten noodles anytime recently in the past day or two, then we've all eaten noodles recently. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never... Spill the beans. We'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. So, are we gonna have to talk about DeMasque then? Which means... Is it this one? Security chief for KB Security. Okay, go to the next. Oh no. Ah, fudge. It's gotta spill the beans. Don't spill the beans. Good thing Pearl isn't here to listen to all this couple talk from Maya. I gotta to make sure Pearl is stays innocent in the way of couples, but with the way that she thinks that Maya and Phoenix are a couple is quite funny. It's a big delusion. Okay. What's this one again? I think that I'm gonna probably have to get him to talk about DeMasque. Not budget duck. It's not even the one that I wanted to press. Okay. This one. She'll grow up to be a world-class shipper. She's gonna fight all the dojins. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby. Was it this one? Okay. Which one was it? Was it the middle one? Blackmail letter. Didn't do anything. Okay. This one? Being blackmailed. They say I'm afraid this isn't going anywhere. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was DeMasque, but you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over once I was fired. But it is true that the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data, save. I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Technically, it would, since he was trying to be DeMasque. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Yeah, because then Desi would find out. But Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. What the heck does that mean? That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes, so come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? Oh dear. Because I could do the profiles too, but it would specifically be about Desi, right? Growing from heat, that's oddly specific. That really is kind of weird. That sentence is suspect, sketchy, At best. Can I say Desi? Pyrophilia, new tag unlocked. Oh no. The gem and the thief. It does specifically say evidence, but it would be Desi, right? Let's try. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. Yes, it is Desi. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Well, but listen to my Desi, she's... Look, if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Dodo. Yes, we know it was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. That is how the murder came about. Oh, No, everything's falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that. Or you'll be sorry. I don't think you want to say that in court, sir. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to go so thoroughly... to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Well, this is like metaphorical whipping than actual whipping like we used to get. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and killed to protect his secret. Family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. Oh. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. So if he says anything about lack thereof of an alarm, because the alarm did go off at like 1:03. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there dead. Wearing what? Were you wearing the DeMasque outfit? I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that DeMasque struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Abby turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. Got the second or third cup of coffee. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. I don't want straight up coffee beans. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godo. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. He did do something, but we can at least get him not accused of murder. Suspicious shadow. Who was the suspicious shadow? If there was were 1,000 of me, and even if one knew, I tell you, trust me. He's dodging all of our questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then, how was the victim Mr. Bullard at the time? What do you mean, how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I wasn't even there. What do you mean? What do you think? Forget it. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. Your forehead? I mean, he has a very exposed forehead. I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was amazingly fast and a powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit, so I think I was a little dazed for a while. Already? Oh my goodness. Watch out for the cord when you close the door. Mama Faye just let Emily right back into the room. She just ran right back in, even though she wanted out, and apparently was just scratching at the door like a goober. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you're asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Hi, Jack! Emily actually just went underneath the bed. She is a cute goober. She's a butthole, but she's so cute. I really like, though, that she's so attached that she doesn't want the door to be closed, but I can't keep it open when I'm streaming. Otherwise, she would have free range to go in and out when she pleases. I've been on and off sick, but otherwise doing well. And you're back in school? Gosh, I wish you nothing but luck. The best of luck. No, in this case, this person's being blackmailed and we're trying to get him out of being a murderer. Hi, Wisp. What were you wearing? Webcam under the bed? I don't think I'm ever gonna put the webcam underneath my bed. Could you please clarify what you were referring to? Why, my Mask to Mask costume, of course. Why the heck did he decide to go to the office with a Mask to Mask outfit on? So would that mean that the Mask to Mask outfit, that maybe somebody stole it in the meantime while he was unconscious? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Mask to Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Are we gonna have to go through another investigative session so we have a video of the Mask to Mask situation here? What colors do I have to wear? Mr. Delight's not being very cooperative. Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Because he never says anything! Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. Better put some ice cubes and some sweetener in there. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. Ah! I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Mask to Mask costume. Why were you wearing the Mask to Mask costume? Why? Because I'm Mask to Mask, of course. Oh dear. What are you talking about? Mask to Mask trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at the time. I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask to Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. Took a lot longer than What took a lot longer than expected? Press. What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the door safe. Wait, the safe door? This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. Ah! Wait, what was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Uh-oh. Did I make a bad choice? Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine, sir? The answer is simple. When they take them off. Why does the weirdest character have to have such great music? Ron, you're the worst witness I have ever had. We had a parrot. That is true. The parrot was an easier witness. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. You mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look. This metaphor at that time was really obscure. Underwear. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Well, I'm the only one not in the loop here. Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Where are we gonna get the bit of evidence information to talk about the... We definitely gotta talk about the buzzer. A parrot is a better witness than this psycho. Godot needs to humble himself. People are still using the Unity engine. Oh no. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. So then it would be 10 minutes after 1 a.m. The buzzer went off at 1:02. Okay, let's press this before we press the last statement there. When you came to. Yes, I was passed out in the corner of the room. See, so somebody moved him from the doorway, too. You know when your assailant made their escape into where? I'm afraid I don't really remember. Huh? Once they hit me, I lost all track of what was going on. I think that's when they made their escape. That's certainly a convenient story for you, isn't it? So if he was passed out, then it would be well past 1 a.m. Wouldn't it? It certainly is, isn't it? Mr. Wright almost sounds practiced. I don't know why you're telling me. You think that I ever tell a witness what to say and what not to say? It's more like I wish I could tell them what not to say, then my life would be easier. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. You stupid. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw the corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes. What is it? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick, if you think his behavior was so strange, why didn't you present some evidence that would just show what those circumstances were? Because I need a preset here. That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much of this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. He's going to. Okay, so save 10 minutes. Save. So if we can garner from this situation is that he was knocked out. The CEO of KP Security was already dead. So on the way out, the murderer, after clocking Ron DeLay in the forehead and putting him in the corner of the room, maybe that's when he would have set off the alarm. It was a set off at 1:02. An assignment that I didn't know was due today. Good luck. I hope that you finish your assignment today and that you get a good score. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Thanks for popping your head in even for a little bit. Have a great rest of your day, Jack. Also, hi, Webs. Okay, so I think we can present this one on this one. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects to the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron Delight truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. You probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend. It wasn't anywhere in the vicinity. Was not something Mr. Delight could have known. There's a little bit too much extra information there. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. Oh, there's a lot of objections. This buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ooh. 7th cup of coffee? Fine, let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious, so he fainted. That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded, and that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Mr. Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. No, order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight. Wait. Hold on. How old is he? Oh, it doesn't even say his age. Okay. You call him a kid, but he's 26, which is still big, like a child in adult years. Ron Delight is the one who killed Caden Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He couldn't have. It was at 1:03. He was dead at 1 a.m. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. No, no, no. No, no, no. His time of death is at 1 a.m. There's no way. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Wright? There's no way. There's no way he could have hit the buzzer. Because one, there was no fingerprints. I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? Buzzer? Unless this man wears gloves, there's no way that... There's no way to prove... Because he had cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. There's no way that he was there to hit the buzzer. Connected to the basement security officer, no fingerprints on it. I probably can. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzard. Buzzard? Buzzer. The warehouse camera. That's the storerooms. I think with the... Yeah, because there's no fingerprints on it. Let's try this. Yeah, that seems right. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you're looking for. The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed the button himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Made him spit out his coffee. Ron DeLight obviously wiped him off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button, I know he did. The defendant, Mr. DeLight, was dressed as DeMasque. And DeMasque always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free from fingerprints? Everybody's having noodles today. Delicious ramen. I've been forced to eat crow. Eat crow? Wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is. How the heck would it be? Would it still be kind of like chickeny flavored? Would crow taste like chicken? So is he drinking chicken coffee? However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? Well, I don't have a theory on that. That's not what you asked before. What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. Mr. DeLight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. DeLight and then sounded the buzzard. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed, security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. I think that I might be a bit lost with this one. Oh, you got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? They didn't mean to call the security guard and to find out what it did. Because I remember... We remember that Larry Butts really did want to know what the buzzer said or did. What if it wasn't the actual buzzer in the room that was pressed, but something from the security office side? It sounds like to figure out what the button do. In all probability, the killer didn't know what the button was for. What do you mean? The killer probably thought, I wonder what this does, and pressed it to find out. Oh, that's exactly how I make a lot of my mistakes too. So dear. Is there a functioning brain underneath all that ridiculous... I pressed A too quickly. Huh? The panel around the button is labeled quite clearly. It says emergency buzzer. Dull. Let me guess. Maybe next you'll want to claim this mysterious killer was literate. I probably could. It was Larry Butts. He was the murderer. What if they didn't mean to? I guess the most logical thing would be to call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, although it turned out he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Ballard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer. Yeah, because if you press the button and call security, those guys leave, the real killer leaves, and the security comes up, who do they think is going to be blamed as the killer? Oh yeah, I did see that Iron Mouse's YouTube channel was back. I'm glad for that. I really wish that YouTube would change how copyright worked, or copyright striking worked. YouTube needs to work on a different kind of setup for that. I don't know exactly what they need to do, but I know it needs to be changed. Because I don't know if you guys know that the way that you can claim some copyright on things is, you know how I played Alien Isolation and what's the other one? Dead Space? There was random people that had also played the same game, but there was no indicator that they used any of my own videos or anything with it. It's just because they played Dead Space and Alien Isolation that it gave me the means to copyright claim their video, which is kind of silly. getting that I don't own the actual content itself, like the game play. And it's not even my video that they're re-uploading or anything. It's just them playing the game. And YouTube sees it as, oh, they're using your content, which is not true. I mean, both YouTube and Twitch have their issues right now. I would say that maybe they're kind of on equal footing with some of the issues that is going on. But when is there not some sort of like big platform that doesn't have a mass amount of issues? In this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Rhonda Light. And if any security guards came running in at the time, they would think I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Rhonda Light for the murder. At a VOD of Deltarune or Undertale, and someone who remixed the song tried to claim the music from the game itself, whatever the system, it's not great. It really isn't. Because I was also trying to find, like, copyright-free music, royalty-free music that I could use. And I think I used one that was composed by the actual person themselves. I used their video, so I was able to play like piano music during an art stream, and their song was copyright claimed, which it doesn't like take out the video or strike your channel itself. It makes it so its monetization goes to them. But the thing is, it was a random Chinese channel that I guess was reading storybooks or something, and they use the same song in the video, but it's like almost non-existent. It's like music playing in the distance is what it sounds like. Like the volume's low. You can barely hear the song compared to them speaking, and they claimed it as theirs, even though the guy has a full YouTube channel up. But because of the way that YouTube sets it up, that if you're using something that's similar to somebody else's, it happens to be in the video, they can potentially copyright claim it. But the thing is, with copyright claiming, and for you to dispute it, you have to put personal information into it. So that's one of the reasons why Iron Mouse's channel went down, because she couldn't dispute it, because she would have to give out personal information. It's fun! YouTube's fun! You'll literally be copyrighted for sneezing at this point. Yes, I think somebody on Twitch had an issue with their audio being muted because the sound of their own blender in their kitchen went off in the distance. And it was taken as a sound effect from a specific company, which is also really silly. I think that was a long time ago, though. I don't know how that works now. Been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. But Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Or wait a second. I'm the one and only Masked Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... we're going to drive that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Rondelet for the murder of Kane Bullard? So, the most logical one is Luke at me. But, isn't that kind of contradictory to the previous trial that we had, where he wouldn't have been there because then he was taken a picture of in the other place? It's crazy that claiming the copyright is basically free, but disputing it becomes a pain in the booty. Exactly. I haven't done any copyright claims myself because there has been absolutely no need to. But I would assume that the process is much easier than disputing it. So we should start claiming the Nintendo and PlayStation broadcasts. I have seen that, I think Sai talked about it before, where somebody who did nothing but Legend of Zelda content can technically copyright claim a lot of Legend of Zelda content. But technically he's not supposed to or allowed to because it's not technically his. Like, Legend of Zelda is not his. And as long as they're not re-uploading videos of his own content, then there's no actual right to the copyright claim. So it's odd. It'll be interesting if Desiree Delight is the one that has framed him for murder. I want to say Luke at me. Detective Luke at me. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Luke at me. You mean Master did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Cain Bullard. Yeah, because there wouldn't be anybody else that could potentially be the murderer. As we already know, we just gotta prove it. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime? You're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. When Luke Appy confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as well as Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty. Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Apney's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict. As an alibi. Yeah, because stealing things is not as bad as murder. As murder! You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Apney's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial, and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Of course, I have to add to it. I'm making habanero ramen. My stomach and toilet is gonna hate me later. I didn't put this whole spice packet in it, but I had some of the... It's like Korean stir-fry ramen that you heat up first and then mix all the packets into it. This one's spicy chicken. And it's really good. Well, it also has like cheese with it, so this is like carbonara. Which it doesn't really taste like carbonara. But I put a bunch of extra stuff in it and kind of mixed in the spicy sauce, but not well enough. And I got pockets of it before stream started. That's why I'm so sniffly. Mr. Luke Apney's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? You bet I am! A bet's only good when you're lice with Auntie? On Auntie? Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. She's here. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. There's no trust here. That voice, it sounds like... Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well, I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. You lost me a chicken. Well, I'm talking about ramen. We've all had noodles recently. I can't say anything because I've been mixing eggs with my ramen broth. That's the most delicious thing ever. Anybody who doesn't have ramen or egg with ramen, it feels sacrilegious. I did that too. I cooked chicken broth and then I put a bunch of various veggies in it and then cooked the egg in it and then put the broth into the noodle cup to cook. Very delicious. It adds like a nice texture to the ramen. I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you don't like eggs. I just think it's sacrilegious because I love eggs. It's okay if you don't like eggs. That just means more for me. Eggs are delicious. Well, Sir Detective Atme. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme, you were the one who... Oh my god, look at him! That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. The court finds the defendant Luke Atme. Whoa! Wait, don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, well, sir lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. That's a big change in face structure right there. Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atme. Accusation? You accuse Master DeMasque? That man is not Master DeMasque. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? He's Canadian. He's Canadian. Egg. I like eggs, just not chicken, the irony. But the egg does not taste like chicken, so I don't see the irony with it. Save. My wife finds that offensive, with the Canadian judge? The supposed Canadian judge? Pre-chicken, yeah, pre-made chicken. Before the development stage of chicken. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy. Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof, but he's the only one who could have done it. But... Oh god. Sorry, I'm burping now. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Caden Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof, and it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Wait, she's still kidnapped? No, she's not kidnapped at all. Remember to say yum when you burp? No! This one has like a weird conglomeration of tastes right now because I have Lipton green tea, I have Tide milk tea, I had ramen or spicy chicken ramen that has cheesy flavored with it, and then I have like toasted leftover chocolate muffins. It's not yum. It's weird. Speaking of, I should... Hold on. I'm gonna stick another piece of this muffin in my mouth. Yeah, Mia... That was the previous case at that hotel that Mia was kidnapped. I think the only complaint I have about this muffin is that I probably made the mix a little too wet. Made for a really nice muffin, but having it the next day, it's a little gooey in the middle. That's okay, I toasted mine. Now that this court is back in session, Mr. Look at me, please take the stand. I put, in this chocolate muffin, the usual, amount of milk that's supposed to go into the recipe. With the, like, the pre-mixed muffins. And then I added, like, 2 or 3 crushed up bananas, or mashed up bananas. And then I also put cheesecake jello pudding in there. I put a bit too much extra moisture into it. Well, this is anything but a dry muffin. How do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of DeMasque. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke at me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could have known what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as DeMasque. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are in fact DeMasque. Of course. I can't wait to utilize the really undersold... all of these undersold items. Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Ken Bullard was murdered. Where were you at the time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks? I mean, he might be a little stupid, but he's still a judge. All right, Mr. Atme, the night of the murder, speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. I was stealing the urn as DeMasque just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. Let me reset the audio real quick. Here we go. Do you enjoy your noodles when they soak up the broth? Yes. Yes, I do. That's why sometimes I'll undercook the noodles so when they're sitting in the broth for longer, because I like to drink a lot of the broth before I eat the noodles. It soaks it up so well. It's delicious. The time at which the camera captured DeMasque was the same time as the murder. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. I think I might already see it. I think I already see it. Even the great DeMasque cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me. I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is indeed a fool. He's talking about himself today. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Because then, if we're thinking about how the box for the urn... I'm here. What I miss? We're back on Luke at me. We have purposefully figured out that Ron Delight is not the murderer, and that we have Luke at me back on the stand so he doesn't get his guilty verdict of being DeMasque. So let me go back to the picture real quick, because the goopiness you see over there is the same setup as the goop that is on the box. So there's no way that this paint mark would be in the picture at 1 a.m. because the box he's supposedly holding is the box that has the urn in it, so it would already be covered in paint. So it wouldn't have even been inside of the lockup, because it would have been right there. I'm sorry I had to say it, but his nose would have stuck out like a sore thumb. Yeah, how did he bend his nose to stay inside of the to stay inside of the mask? Gosh, my next order of business is making sure that I use the rest of the overripe bananas to make banana bread. I hope when I open, if I have the motivation later to make banana bread, I'm hoping that the bananas are not too far gone and I can still use them. Okay, press. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called DeMasque. But conveniently, that also means that there is no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Are you saying that this is not in fact Luke at me? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as DeMasque to create an alibi? Oh ho, what an interesting idea. That is some weird bits there. I don't think that we can name anybody as his accomplice, right? I mean, other than Adrian Andrews, but I don't think that she really is an issue here. Banana bread. Make banana pudding? I do have mix for banana pudding. That's gonna be for making the other pie. Larry did it? No, Larry's too stupid to be this schemy. I really am hoping that those bananas are okay. I do still have Nilla wafers, so I could make more banana pudding pie. But I need more actual, like, fresher bananas. I'm gonna give that bit up because I don't know who it is. If Luke Atme was at KP Security during the murder, then the mask in this picture has to be a fake. But then there really was an accomplice. But right now I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what this guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. More than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Okay. I don't think the game would dive deep onto details saying that his nose wouldn't fit. I mean, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. You can have like the same semblance of an idea that you can use that as evidence, but it just becomes either nothing or it becomes dialogue. Because I think there has been some editing between like original releases for Ace Attorney and re-releases. Because there were certain things that were definitely like really prominent that would have been good evidence, but it never actually amounted to anything in the games. And I think that they did adjust those in like recent remakes. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right, that was over 20 days ago if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was a perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see, you truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? There should be. Because for her to, well, I mean, you can still like decide, oh, let's take this treasure. Think Atme is just delusional? Hasn't he always been from the beginning? Because he said he wanted to create his ultimate enemy. His ultimate arch nemesis. Did it say speckled urn? It is! So it would have had to have been after it happened. Okay. Yeah, the original urn isn't speckled. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Hmm? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he had no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It's kind of odd. Yeah, the speckled urn bit is a little weird. Because in the original treasure exhibit poster, it looks like this. Like, do you want to steal this? Does this look like it would sell for anything? And then in the Mass calling card, it talks about the speckled urn. Which it was only speckled after it was put back together by Adrian Andrews. Did it specify when the paint was spilled? 2 weeks ago. When Adrian dropped the urns box 2 weeks ago, she also knocked over some paint. So the paint would have been there since 2 weeks ago. And if it's this box that he's holding is truly the urn, it would be covered in paint, which it isn't. A photograph contains the words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. You'd be surprised at how much it would sell for if it was a celebrity spot. No, that is true, actually. Things that are completely broken and look like they wouldn't sell for anything actually do sell for things. And that would make sense since the calling card was sent 10 days ago. He'd know about the paint splatter. Yep. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Ooh, save. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Because then he would have done the picture beforehand. No, because it wouldn't be beforehand, because then the box would have been in the paint. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime at all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody. Looks like I better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. There is. I'm gonna press everything first though and go back to that one. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come on now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? No, that's not what I think. I think that you definitely did something, but it wasn't messing with the timestamp. I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. That's not true. Really? You could have had accomplices. I see. It looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. So if this alibi is false, it has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Which I think it's the photo itself. I was sealing the urn as masked and matched just as I announced I would. I had had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Photograph. So this one... Photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So let's save again. Now the question is, do I present the picture? I would think I would need to do the picture. Oh, that's accidentally did that. Did not mean to actually. I probably didn't even do the right one. Okay. Photograph contains the time at which the camera captured Mass was the same time as the murder. See, that's not the bit that I'm worried about. Taylor Swift makes a 1,500 by 1,500 white portrait and puts a little dot in the middle. Boom, it's alright, and it would sell for like... No, that is true that there is abstract art that's sold by either celebrities or famous artists. And it's considered profound. Art is art in the eye of the beholder. Because I'm pretty sure some people will be like, no, I'm not going to pay for that. But there is also somebody who did art which was considered to be art, but I find it weird. But I mean, that's art is your own self-expressive kind of hobby and or job. Because I remember seeing a story or a news story where this man, in terms of art, sold or poured red paint buckets onto an iceberg and called it art. And it got on the news about it. I thought it was a weird expression of art, but I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but somebody's cup of tea, obviously. Okay, because I think I would have to present the urn and stuff later. Adrian dropped the urn's box 2 weeks ago. She also knocked over the some... Because when this dropped. It coincides with the time frame that he would have sent the calling card, so that's accurate. But the Sacred Urn box in the picture compared to the Sacred Urn box here, which would have happened at the same time, is covered in paint. Can I press this one again? Photograph evidence. Yes, indeed it is. That is the very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided the camera, so there's no way tampered with. Means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? There we go. So we had to press this one again. You bet there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. So, okay, so in this case, I think I can present the box because the box is covered in paint and the one in the picture isn't. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. It could also be the picture or the statue that was supposed to be there. So then would I click the paint first? Or present the box against the one statement about the photo? See, in this case, I have to click what's sketchy in this photo, and it's either the paint or it's the box. I think it's probably the paint first because the statue was in the way of the paint before. You think it's the box? Because it could be the box or it could be the paint, because remember how the statue of Ami was covering up the paint? So you would have to move it to get to the box if the box stayed there. Because you can see the shape of the paint where the box was supposed to sit. So should we point out the box specifically then? Let's try. Oh. Perhaps this is the area. No, okay. So I think I am correct. This area, could you be any more vague? Oh, wait, maybe? Today's Java has a little extra kick to it. It seems that the funny part lies in the area of the defense. See, that's a way. That's fine. Okay, so it is the paint first. See, this is the confusing bits of things. Let's get back to that. Okay, let's go with my original instinct that it's definitely the paint. Yep. Why, this is a blood stain. Blood, now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. This is what happens when I second guess myself. I was right. I know. I'm happy about that. Oh, just paint. A peach colored. You're saying that bright pink paint is peach colored. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. He's sweaty. Well, Mr. Wright, What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? It was Ami's statue that was supposed to be here initially. Bye, No Face. See you later. Thanks for popping your head in. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye. Bye-bye. So if we go off of what was supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains, Ami Faye's statue or the box specifically? A wooden box that had sacred urn in it has pink paint stains on it. Yeah, I would think the Ami statue would be, because that was in the way first. The supervisor at the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there that night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue would have been there, or should have been there. Well, when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Save! Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? Ah. Luke at me? That would make sense, right? For Luke at me to move it. We are getting somewhere, but at some point I'm gonna get stuck. Let's go ahead and try Luke at me. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke at me. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusion? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Okay, save. Save again. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move this statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Mask the Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. This photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. This is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? Oh god. Welcome back! God, it's gonna take 3 points away if you mess up. Can we click the box now? The shape? Not necessarily the paint itself? lie in this photo is somewhere around here. Jumping to conclusions again, I think you need to take a gander in your local mirror. As the Yiddish proverb goes, a half-truth is a whole lie. Keep lying like this and you'll be on there. Ow, don't save. Load it. If not, it's time travel. Save a little closer. This photograph contains a single fatal flaw. See, this is why I like saving with Ace Attorney, is because sometimes you'll get to these moments where it's like, huh? If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. This is why you have to move the statue. A single fatal flaw. I guess it's the box this time. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Does the lie exist? The box? The lie is mask to mask. Are you saying that mask to mask is a fake? There we go. The time traveling cop. Time traveling detective. You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Mask to Mask's identity? Oh, buggers. Your face has "oh, buggers" written all over it. That's a penalty for you. See, they do some interesting, different dialogue to make it seem like, oh, you're fine. No, it's not. Stay closer. Your lie would have been exposed like a cheap film at the drugstore. Where is it just the paint again specifically?
Take that.
No. Why do I feel like you feel like you're on a roll, but then Ace Attorney makes you feel like a moron in a split second. Where in the picture does the lie exist? The time frame? What the heck? What if it was taken a nude? No, it would have 12 in there. Single fatal flaw. Is it the other shape? No, because would it be the time? Because the timestamp supposedly was not tampered with, maybe. Oh my goodness, really? Okay, theory there. The lie is in the photo and this time is the timestamp. Oh, what if the timestamp was just laid over the picture? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB's security and murdered King Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. Oh! Because he took the picture before... He took the picture before he actually stole the urn. But then the statue was delivered last minute. Is that what it is? No, I'm probably losing my mind. And so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder. Yes, okay. What the? Oh, of course the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Okay, so yeah, if the statue was left there... No. Okay, I was on the right track. If the statue was left there and the picture was supposedly still in the same spot, the statue would have been in the photo. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Appy must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Appy had to move the statue on the night of the murder. Yeah, there we go. Cool. See, I say theories and then somehow my brain thinks like, oh no, that's wrong. But no, it's actually right. He did it to make the room match when they, with the way it had been in the photo. It makes sense! The perfect crime! Order. Mr. Appy, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's this? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That's right! That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. There we go! We're getting there. Mr. Godo, what is the meaning of this? Why are you asking him? He's just gonna give you some weird philosophical sentence and that means nothing. Godo, I warned you about making me wait. Now put down that coffee. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Sir, you're probably gonna need to go up to 20. Which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense is a very good point. Good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is... Oh, there's a 12th cup. That's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. I hate this man. That's very true. No way, you don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. DeMasque. Yes? If there's no funny business in your action as Mask DeMasque, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. His toilet is gonna reek of pee and coffee. Can you imagine with how much coffee he drinks? He probably pees like a horse. Please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay, here comes the speckled urn bit. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Zavari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. Oh, there's the, ooh. There's the contradiction. Take good care of the speckled urn, won't you? Didn't see it until the day of the crime, did you? I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Aw, sir. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. And how did he know it was speckled? That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we'll find the truth and hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. See, we can see the contradiction, but there's like 3 different ones that we can put the contradiction on. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Zavari. My logic actually worked. Yes, Sai, we're rubbing 2 brain cells together to get a whole brain cell. Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Sacred Urn Heist. I first received the request for Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrienne Andrews, is that right? Indeed, it seemed that they had heard of my Zvarkling reputation. Zvarkling? Zvarkling. I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. We always attract the weirdos. Why do we get the weirdest clients, the weirdest defendants, the weirdest witnesses? Still not weirder than the parrot, though. The urn was placed in a box in Zavari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Putting the brinkles together. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Interesting new tidbit. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So, you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. The security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, Luke at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is without a doubt my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Acme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Then I handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Then no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. And that is the photo that proves it, huh? Indeed, to be honest. See, the other thing about this box that he's holding is that it also doesn't have the message on the front side that says the Sacred Urn. And it doesn't have the paint on it. But this could also just be an oversight in the art. To be honest, even if the photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Oh my god. Hold on, I need to sit back up. Here. Oh. Hee. There we go. Now I'm back up, right? Hey Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Acme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. Need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? The detective has been covering his tracks. There's only one thing that we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Acme stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. There we go. Are you Elden Ring sitting? No, I was just sliding further down on my bed. So instead of sitting on my butt, I'm like sitting on my tailbone. What did suddenly the... Oh. like, why did it all of a sudden that the volume turned up? I think I accidentally turned it up myself. Okay. Also, let me know if the game's too loud. I keep forgetting to ask this. For first received request, Lordly Taylor, the urn was placed in a box. Urn? And so I was actually unable to see the urn myself until the day of the crime. Sent my card 10 days beforehand. See, now I could do it here. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand, and... Because I know the card would be the one to send first. Or to put as evidence first. Unable to actually see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. Let me repress this one. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Adrian Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused on entirely warehouse. Entrance to the warehouse. I redo this one? Oh, here we go. Maybe? Okay. We're gonna test these two. We're gonna present calling card. Mr. Appy, if you really are DeMasque, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with the calling card? Allow me to read the passage from the calling card that DeMasque had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that DeMasque could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? These stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. Yay! I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. You can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Appy had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. Because this photo is a fake, your alibi at the night of the murder no longer holds water. Whee! We're getting there. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken. Dick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Well, of course he has something else to say. It's so sad no one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was DeMasque, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Appy was the one who killed Cain Ballard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest? Motive manifest? Nick, he's getting a second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rondelay, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. Is this where we're gonna get into the bit of how cheap these things were sold for? The only one with any motive was seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, detective? Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. It would be funny instead of Godot using the same cup he has just as a pile of mugs next to him. He's on his 12th mug of coffee. It is all just in one small pile next to his feet. He must have some really, like, sturdy coffee mugs for them to not break when he's throwing them onto the floor. Luke Atme had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Mass and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. It was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mass. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? You knew this already! What's with the question mark? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Blackmail letter update in the court record found in Ron Delight's room, written by Bullard. Why is the blackmail note look like a stick of gum? Kinda does, doesn't it? Does look like a stick of gum. And some very fancy green foil. Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Okay. Press everything. Sorry, I was putting my keyboard back on my lap. Who in the world is gonna prove that? I will. After doing a thorough background check on Detective Apney and Cain Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security. Nope. That was blunt. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Cain Bullard mistook. That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka? Meaning to take in error. That wasn't what I meant. Just who did the victim mistake Mass to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off his, this guy's face. Can I press harder? Would that be a good thing to press harder? Probably should. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Mass to Mask? Don't you already know that? Zavari. Take a look at this newspaper. Oh, that's the famous Tear of the Emanon, a magnificent jewel. The photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article, and Zavari, you got the wrong impression. Goodbye, Wiz. See you later. Have a good nap. I hope you have good dreams and you wake up refreshed. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Mass to Mask. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring $50,000, and the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. There's no mistake, we have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee. This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment, and Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is relevant. What if it wasn't for Ron Delight, but what if it was for Desi? What if this blackmail was for Desi? If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB's security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red diamond. No, what if this blackmail letter is for... Not for Desi. What if this one was for, Luke at me for the red diamond that's on his finger? I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't for Mr. Delight? Yeah, but you never had a red diamond? Ron Delight didn't have a red diamond. He had the Tears of Emanon, which is the blue jewel. And then the Crown of Bangora, which is an artifact. Left Hand of Hades sculpture, and Portrait of Megina is a painting. Well, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I can't shake this feeling that there is something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. Okay. So... I think I might need to press everything else first, but I don't think that I can specifically... Can you present specifically the blackmail letter? It also says 50,000. And Tears of Emanon Jewels 100,000. I'm gonna continue pressing the rest of these and come back to this one. What do you mean by that? Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, and since I was the security team chief, I stole data from the company. Kane Bullard had yet to forgive young Mr. Delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief. Here's a file that was that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail. However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullard the money, even though he wasn't actually mask to mask? On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is mask to mask. Do you really think that story is going to hold up? That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight. Ronnie thinks he's mask to mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. Well, Mr. Trite, Was he trying to act like Mr. Delight or Miss Delight right now? I thought he was actually pretty convincing. This is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Cain Ballard. Truly a tragedy. Now that's just your imagination talking. Come on, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction, the result of carefully applied reasoning. Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves? It's a long story and better saved for another time. You butthole. Very well, another time. This so-called long stories aren't usually that long. At least not in my experience. So, you're going to try to connect Detective Acme to Mr. Ballard, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. That's true. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. Maybe I'll be able to shake some contradictions loose this way. So we can repress I almost said Brack. The blackmail letter. It'll probably give us more opportunity. Green 50,000, and the handwriting is without doubt the victims. There's no mistake. Was an official report to prove it. I don't see an addressee. There's no relevant addressee. Not quite right. Okay, so it's the same as before. Okay, so let's try presenting the blackmail itself. Because we have a contradictory bit to the letter here. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Acme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. Why am I a walking contradiction? You're the one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. We're not doing fisticuffs in the middle of a courtroom. Show us the contradicting evidence and the content of the blackmail letter. Can I use the blackmail letter again? Talking about the red diamond? Yeah. Little two one punch that like that wouldn't even phase me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright, try thinking again. Oh. Yeah. Maybe I have to use specifically. Talk about the blackmail letter and then talk about the item. Or the items that he got. Okay. Save. Yeah, the stolen items list. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At least like this in fisticuffs. Okay. Contradiction is the list of items. Cain's list. Little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even phase me. Really? 1-2 punch, Mr. Right. Try thinking things through. What the fudge? That seems logical, though. Contradiction. Red gem. Save a little bit closer. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. October 12th, I'm bringing $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Oh, maybe it's a newspaper thing. Talking about the blue diamond? Yeah, because if he... Oh, that's right. Because if he used if you use this as a means to start the blackmail, it would have been a blue gem instead of a red gem. Instead of the list, it would have been the newspaper. Yeah, seems right. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. Because this is the only one that actually talks or shows the color of the gem. The other one just talks about it. It contains a picture of the tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is the jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to that, to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Emanon that DeMasque stole at all. And your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? This is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Oh my god, stop! Trite, right, Nick? This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing, and it was Look at Me. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Yeah, I mean, look at that large ring that he has on his finger. That could be the red diamond. Do you have some sort of claim, sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single DeMasque case, and in the last case, you recovered what was stolen. Received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. We're getting our story straight. Order in the court. Order, I say. Have you gone over your 17 cups of coffee yet? It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh, I don't like the way you said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Well, I mean... He was a security hazard. Even though he had the security, job, he was utilizing it to take other things. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity? Save! Save often! Don't lose the points. Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep a secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as an ace detective, DeMasque, and a blackmailer. I mean, technically he is a blackmailer because he was having Ron Delight steal everything for him. And then he said that he returned all of the things that were stolen back. Didn't he? Back to the original owners? Because he might still be an ace detective and certainly somewhat Mask DeMasque, but he's not Mask DeMasque because Ron Delight's Mask DeMasque. So should we say a blackmailer? I say as Mask DeMasque, but could we technically be thinking that he is basically Mask DeMasque? But we're trying to prove that he's not Mask DeMasque so that he doesn't get the other so he's not proved as Mask DeMasque, so he doesn't get the other trial that he is performed grand larceny, not murder. I'll follow your train of logic. Let's say Mask DeMasque. It's either a blackmailer or Mask DeMasque, because if I think a blackmailer, it's because Luke at Me was blackmailing Ron Delight to steal all of these things as Mask DeMasque, so he could have more money by bringing things back as a detective. But we'll go with size logic as Mask DeMasque. Maybe? Luke at Me was Mask DeMasque. What? That's my line. What was that supposed to mean? That's my line too. Listen up, you. This is what you've been saying up to this point in time. The witness pretended to be Mask DeMasque in order to pin the murder on the defendant. In which case, you'll want to insist up to and beyond the day you die that Ron Delight was in fact Mask DeMasque. I must say, this sudden change of heart doesn't reflect well on you. Okay. Okay, so that was not it. Definitely not it. I think it's the blackmailer. Because he's technically not Mask DeMasque. Luke at Me was a blackmailer.
Objection.
It's okay. It's okay. We're coming up with two logical possible solutions. Hey, now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? I'm remembering the case wrong. No, you're good. It's okay. This is why I save. I save before I make big choices. You say that said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke at Me. Are you saying that at Me was blackmailing someone else on top of that? Oh, you have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke at Me, but Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Yeah, because you remember the reason why he became Mask DeMasque was that he was being blackmailed to steal all of these things. Well, not the whole reason why he was Mask DeMasque. He stole one thing and then became Mask DeMasque more famously because Luke at Me was having him steal all these other things in purview of being keeping his secret of being Mask DeMasque. He was making him steal more things. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans, in which case that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Mask DeMasque. That is what we're claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. That someone was none other than Luke at Me. Shh, silence. He. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... Oh, don't look into my past. You say that Luke Abney was blackmailing Ron Delight, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to DeMasque. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed the first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delight was DeMasque? Wouldn't it be the newspaper photo? You know this one? What is it? It's, yeah, the newspaper clipping, because he said that he hid the yeah, his costume was in the trash can, and that Ron Delight did state that Luke Atme, I don't think he stated specifically, but that Luke Atme did find the costume in the trash can. Yes. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. It gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone a detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. I keep slightly burping during my sentences. I'm so sorry. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be DeMasque? And not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also DeMasque. Why can't you understand that? Burps are not okay, especially mid-sentence. It sounds weird. I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you... Oh, nope, I can't read that. Ace detective cannot handle blackmail murder threats. I love his music. Yeah, he is very desperate. He wants to be famous. He wants to be known for all of these great things. Ace detective... famous thief. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. I'm surprised he was able to speak that quickly. You did it all in one breath. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme. Oh God, please. What other refute do you have? The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will not be the one to judge. Or I will be the one to... What? Crap, I read that too quickly. Don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trade. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer. That he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB's security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. I hate you. Picking apart my reasoning. This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Acme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Try. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Acme was at KB's security and the defense. Save. Oh no! Surely I could. There's no way that I can say that I can't prove it, so I have to prove it. The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? Ha, don't you worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces. I'm gonna taint your cup of coffee. Very well then, let's see this proof. Proves that Luke Acme was at KB's security that night. Okay. Time to pull something out of the ether. Let's see here. Yeah, what do we pull out of our butt this time? Would it be the list, maybe? From mass to mass second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box kept out of sight. A wooden box that had the sacred urn in it. It has pink stains on it. Found in the shadow of Amife's statue. Looks like it was torn off some clothing. Shot of mask to mask striking a pose. Found in bronze wallet used on October 12th night as a crime at 1 a.m. Found the KB security building at around 1 a.m. the night of the crime. This is the blackmail letter. I mean, the blackmail letter could possibly have been used. As if you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. Because then that would prove, then that would make him have to go there at 1 a.m. But that wouldn't put him there the night of the murder. True. Our house camera went off once at around... I guess we really don't have anything. Because I don't think a profile would also work with this. Okay, let's try backing out, because I did save. Oh, I can't. I can't back out of this. So I had to present something. Maybe we pull off a last second miracle. Okay, so let me... I'm gonna have to present something. I'm just gonna do the blackmail letter. And then reset. This is the proof. It's true that it is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think that will pass for evidence here. Mr. Trite, it's time you learn the true flavor of life. The flavor of my special Godo blend number 49. Is this the second time that he's thrown coffee at me? Well, Mr. Wright, it's bitter, very bitter. Come on, Nick, don't give up now. What do I do? If I make a mistake here, it's over. Okay, so let's reload. And so we don't have anything. I can't prove it at the moment. I can't prove it. Yeah, he assaulted me with a boiling hot cup of coffee. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Apme's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten Luke Apme is here after we interrupted his own trial, and you have failed to prove that he committed the murder? I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial, and face his guilty verdict as DeMasque. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as DeMasque. My verdict will verify that. Just as Rhonda Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. You have no ace detectiveness. Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and by then it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Because they're gonna get a guilty verdict today. Double jeopardy. What are the basic rules of any court of law? Double jeopardy. Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. Just discovered your channel. How are you doing? How are you liking this game case/game so far? This is probably one of the more confusing cases, but not the weirdest. But Ace Attorney is such a fun game all the time that it really makes you rack your brain because you think of some sort of logical reasoning for a reason why you should use a piece of evidence. And the game will literally throw that logic out the window and backhand you with it. You gotta love Ace Attorney. It synonymously gives you the feeling of being triumphant and intelligent and will immediately slap it right back in your face. You'll be humbled immediately. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Apme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as DeMasque, which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of Cain Bullard is concerned. No way! The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Apme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Cain Bullard's murderer. That seems so stupid! Absolutely stupid. Yeah, gotta think out of the box and then work the logic backwards too. I'm playing investigations. Oh my god. Yeah, you sometimes have to think about the most ludicrous thought process to make it work. There are some things that are definitely like really easy to figure out. Like when we had the speckled urn. You wouldn't have been able to know that if you didn't actually see the urn beforehand. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Apme, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid that I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Somebody object for me! I don't even know what's going on anymore. I hope you burn your taste buds and never get to taste your coffee again. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke at me. Objection! Miss Delight? Desi? I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Oh, wait, hold on. Mia! That voice, no way. Oh, she's here again, yay! I thought it was Miss Delight there for a second until she said that. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia? Nobody's gonna question how her boobs grew twice the size, and she is now taller. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but not right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Save us, Mia! Mia, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to be an ace attorney. But there's nothing more we could do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something earlier after the after the last cross-examination. This witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask the Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then shall we prove their importance via cross-examination? At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? You better get your 18th cup of coffee, sir. Is there something the matter, Godo? He's out of coffee. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, Luke at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks, so then let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godo, what are you? Very well then, Mr. Luke at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Now we can have evidence in our possession. Because, of course, the only people that will listen to my side is Mia. And then she's the only one that can outsmart the judge. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Mask the Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. You are also wearing gloves all the time, sir. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavari. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Poor boy. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been examined and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I also look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. How would you have seen said documents? Huh. Are you going to make more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Abney's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Save. Hang on a second. Just one chance? Ah, it seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. She makes it seem so simple. How has he not gone through more than 17 cups of coffee? It seems like our time has come to put an end to the trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance, so I can't press multiple things. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Save here. Okay. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. I am losing my mind. Ah! Even words that I have not previously messed up is now horribly messing up because of contradictions. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he left no prints, and the blackmail letter, the victim just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavari, therefore all the evidence points to that poor boy. I mean, unless he's colorblind, how would he mistake the jewel color? But how was he able to get information about a case he wasn't even a part of? Process. If he was claiming he himself is Master Mask, would he come to the conclusion that Ron was wearing the costume? Oh! Ow! Yeah, oh, that is right, because we only learned that he was wearing the Master Mask costume in this court session. And he was in the other court session since 11, so he wouldn't have known that that he was wearing the Master Mask outfit. Because we didn't learn about that till now. Good catch on that side. We're gonna press it. How did you know he was wearing the outfit, sir, unless you clocked him on the forehead? Mr. Appy, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Trey? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godo. What? Mr. Appy, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Appy? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. Or like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. Yeah, because I think that you have probably dehydrated yourself to the point where you're gonna need to pee out all that coffee. Gonna need to get this man a water bottle before he passes out. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as DeMasque when he went to the scene of a crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Hi, Tessa. Oh, and did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Yeah. Do you understand now, Detective Appy? There's no way that you should have known about that. Good job, Mia. We were able to get this far because of you. You were in the next courtroom being tried as DeMasque, so then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Unless you were in the room and clocked Mr. Ron Delight on the forehead while he was wearing said DeMasque outfit. Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. Even I didn't know said information. You think he would? None of you knew the information. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his DeMasque outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Appy to have found that out. Only one way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Appy. It's with that statement, then, that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Your voice sounds fine and feminine. I don't find anything weird about your voice after you've had that spicy ramen lunch. God, it was earlier though. I do feel like my throat's gonna kill me later because I feel like this like burdiness in the back of my throat right now due to all the talking that I've been doing with this game. But thankfully it sounds okay right now. But if you heard it earlier, I was hawking up a loogie. Because I have allergies and constantly filled sinuses. When you eat spicy food, it really shows you how much mucus you have in your sinuses. That's probably too much information, but you get what I mean. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Look at me sweat! God, is there an earthquake in here? Oh, there he goes. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. This is broken now. I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. I am not gonna replicate whatever maniacal laughter that he has going on. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing... Oh my goodness. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as DeMasque in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with his plan to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. Ron, if you decide to say anything else that's gonna prolong this, I'm going to... I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict, you need to shut your mouth right now. I'm just about to get you free. I'm just about to get you freedom, sir, and you want to say something that's going to probably incriminate you further? I know you've never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but there's no buts here. I really am DeMasque. Sir, I think we've already explained that we already know that you're DeMasque. I need you to stop having to say it out loud so people think that you can respond to this. So thanks to the trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Oh my god. Now that you mention it, I've been careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, DeMasque is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. I mean, I guess it's if he's gonna do any more stealing as DeMasque. At least he could say outright that he is DeMasque without getting the repercussions for it, I guess. Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty! Yeah! Finally! Absolutely took way too long for this. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am DeMasque after all. Well, I mean, after this entirety, I'm pretty sure that Desiree now knows that her husband is unemployed and is DeMasque. Unless she's still living in delusions. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the current channeling school? Channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Bye, Mia. You're a treasure. Help us always in the last moment where I'm sweating buckets. But the case is done. Mr. Wright, I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that... come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as DeMasque to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? stealing security information from KB's security, becoming mask to mask. I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she once held hostage, or was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB's security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. No, that's not the reason why she fell in love with you. I thought she would leave me for sure, so that's why you became mask to mask? Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine. Nick can prove it. I can? I kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there is always a way to put it back together. Do I do... Ami? Ami's urn that's been put together like 3 different times? The sacred urn, Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, he's gotta give away his own secret. I suppose you don't want anything to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB's security. Never imagined that you were really mask to mask either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do, now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. That's some logic there. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous. I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Well, she fell in love with him because despite him being scared and everything, he saved her from the robbers, so that was where her love started. I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. The question is, are they gonna have the money to pay for this? Am I gonna get a paycheck this time around? I need to be able to take care of Maya's spending habits with food. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! Hi, Pearl! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya. I'll never forgive you, never, ever! Oh my god, she's smacking me! Why is she always back at the most detrimental of moments? So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Oh my god, she smacked him until he passed out! But now that's not true. I mean, just look. Accidentally pressed A too quickly and missed some dialogue there. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Ami. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout, the end. Yay! A brand new episode has been added! Woo! Save the progress! Episode 3, Recipe Turnabout. Now then. No, back it up! Back it up! That's gonna be for a different stream. Cooking with Maya. No, it looks like she was a waitress. I don't really remember playing this one. Yeah, this is the last game of the trilogy, so... I don't remember how many episodes it has. It looks like it's gonna have at least 5. Yeah, it probably is 5 in total. So then we have recipe for turnabout, and then we probably have at least one more. Oh, it's not gonna be a break. This is basically the end of stream now, since we have finally finished the stolen turnabout. Next time we stream Ace Attorney, it'll be a recipe for a turnabout, which will probably be after October. After this is Turnabout Beginnings, and then Bridge to Turnabout Beginnings. Are you saying that there's 2 more after Recipe for Turnabout? Oh yeah, 4, 5. Turnabout Beginnings and the Bridge. No, that makes sense. Five, 6. 3, 4, 5. No, yeah. Got my brain. Why? I didn't even realize I accidentally turned caps lock on my computer. We're finally done. We're done. We're finally done. Only 2 more cases. 2 more cases until the trilogy is over. And then that means that we can move on to other Ace Attorney games. Which means possibly the Ace Detective would be next. My goodness. Ace Detective. Great Ace Detective. I wonder what is actually considered to be the full, like, in line of what games that you're supposed to play in order. Because I know the Edgeworth games were app games, I think? Yeah, Herlock Shlomes. Is it? I wonder if it's supposed to be the ones that were on the DS and then it's the Great Ace Attorney. Where is it? I haven't saved it here. Where is it? There it is. Did they added the other Ace Attorney games on here as well, didn't they? They added all of the Edgeworth ones to the store page. Yeah, there it is. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Apolojustice. Is it supposed to be Apolojustice and then it's all of the Edgeworth ones, or is it supposed to be Edgeworth first? Great Ace Attorney. The Great Ace Detective, or Ace Attorney Chronicles on the Switch, and Apolojustice. Yeah. And then there's the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, which is all Edgeworth. I wonder. Let's look it up real quick. Ace Attorney games in order. Image. Ah, okay, so it's supposed to be... No, not timeline, not the timeline. Chronological order. No. Heard about trial. Not that one. Because there was Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. Now it's saying Apollo Justice, the Investigations 1 and 2. Other Ace Attorney, which is... Can't read that one. Why is the picture so small? Why are these pictures so tiny? Oh my god, they also they also have the Professor Layton Phoenix Wright as well. First, second, third, so fourth game. Ace Attorney Investigations, a spin-off series that is best played after the first 3 games, so those ones would be technically next. And then Great Ace Attorney would be last, not playing timeline-wise. I don't think that I'm gonna play these in order though. Because the only one that I have currently is the Great Ace Detective. Which I think was also 2 games put together for the rework. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that. Oh, yay, we only have 2 cases left before the trilogy is over. And then we can, at some point, get back into playing Ace Attorney. But I think the two cases will be done sometime December, probably. Depending on how long it takes me to go through the Sinking City, Silent Hill 2, because I think a lot of the horror games that I'm going to be playing, the 2 long-term ones, which is Sinking City and Silent Hill 2, are probably going to bleed into November. Which will also sprinkle some additional games in there. And then there's also... we are going to be playing Echoes of Wisdom tomorrow. But I don't know if you guys want me to sprinkle that in between horror games. So we might pick that back up again in November and play like a long stream tomorrow of it. I actually almost completely forgot to purchase it. So right before stream started, as I was setting up to play Ace Attorney, I purchased it. Yeah, I just bought it earlier today. I gotta make a thumbnail for it. Because I know that the weekly schedule is off because of the shifting of streams. You're gonna buy it for me? You can buy me something else if you want to. You could buy, you know what you could buy me? You could buy me Zoocosis on Steam. It comes out, I think it comes out in 5 days. The other horror game that I was gonna play, you could buy me Zoocosis off of Steam. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I think this is a wrap now. We're done for today. I will see you guys probably 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll have a long stream of clocking bokoblins with various random pieces of furniture. I'm excited to utilize furniture as a means of weapons. I hope you guys have fun with stream today. Thank you for helping me with being my brain cells. We are all one single Brinkle. We are the collective consciousness that comes with puzzle games and detective games. I will see you guys tomorrow for Echoes of Wisdom. I will put up the waiting room for it later on. Keep a lookout for it. Don't forget to feed yourself, hydrate, all that good stuff. I don't know if it's raining where you guys are, but make sure that you go out with an umbrella. If you have issues with bodily functions during the time frame that it rains, make sure you're taking Tylenol, ibuprofen, all that good stuff. Get cozy in a blanket, because it's all nice and dreary outside. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Also, thank you to every new face that I saw pop into chat today. Thank you. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.